Recording beginneth.
Just saying that beginning. Hi guys, welcome back to JD Stream slash JD Podcast slash JD Unplugged slash JD slash the D the J. Yep, Wesley, catch Wesley's face right now. Catch it.
Get it. That's right. We got another guest, everybody. So make sure to tune in, bug out, and get unplugged, or do whatever you want. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised this intro still exists in this new dimension that I found myself in. For anybody who's been following the insanity of what happens every episode, I keep trying to find my way back to Darren at the studio in Hamilton, and I keep getting sidetracked. And this time I've ended up in an anime world. It's very strange, but
You and me
I brought a guest with me, and so Darren, I gotta.
You and me both.
Yeah, I know. So are you the same Darren that I've been talking to all this time, or are you from a different dimension? What the heck's going on?
I'm actually I have Darren's DNA essentially encoded into my bloodstream, all that jazz. But I'm 4,267 days into the future. Actually,
Whoa!
68. Sorry, just to double check.
What is that? 68,000 days?
Yes.
So what is that as far as years go? Like 200 years or something?
48 into 120.
48 into 120.
Never mind. It's a movie reference.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I missed it.
That's too funny. It's all good. No worries.
I haven't seen that movie either.
Wait,
No,
yeah. But what is it? What's the movie?
It's Mean Girls.
Oh,
Wait, I
have
have
seen.
seen.
Mean Girls.
Wait. So
Yeah.
what is that in? Is
She
that like
goes-
something that
she's
Lindsay
asking-
Lohan said?
Yeah, so she's asking essentially if like butters are carb or like what
Oh,
calories
yeah.
are essentially, and then she's asking like how much the calories are, and then the other friend's like 48 into 150, as in because like cheese fries have this amount of calories, so then they're trying to figure out what percentage of fat it is, but like Katie Heron is like a mathematician because she's from Africa, so she's like, you have to cross multiply, find the value of X. That's the scene, by the way.
Nice, very good.
Yeah.
Well, you stumped all of us, so we're the other cast members of the Mean Girls. Wait. But nice. So you got the same DNA. You're from
Same
the
DNA.
future.
From the future.
What exactly does that entail? I mean, are you what more experiences have you had? Can you tell me about my future? What happens to me?
Oh, actually, I cannot do that. It's like one of the rules that you can't do. So
Oh, god
essentially,
damn it. So you know, but you just won't tell me.
I can't. Yeah, unfortunately,
Alright.
because it will have a ripple effect.
Okay, all right.
Check out Heroes season 1. It'll explain it for you.
And,
Something around there.
and nothing else.
Yep, you
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
you know is
okay.
to save the cheerleader, save the
Yeah.
world,
And then it's over.
and then it's done.
then
Yeah,
it's
Everybody
over.
leaves, and there's
Yeah,
a
it's
writer's
over.
Then it got
strike.
canceled. Yeah.
Man, the
Writer's
the
strike.
ending of Heroes season 3 is like the worst I have ever seen.
I just remember how it ended forever, and it was just like her going to like a news station showing that she can't die, and then the show got canceled. So I was like, that didn't seem intentional, but I don't know what season that was, like 5 or 6 or something. But-
There's
there
only
that many
there's
seasons?
three there's
Oh, there's
three
only three.
seasons. There's 3 seasons, and then there's a circus
It's
thing that's like
generation.
season 4.
Okay, then the
What
circus
about
one.
Yeah.
Did you guys see like the sequel, like with her son? I watched that one.
No, I heard about it, but I didn't.
Yeah,
jump
I
in.
watched that one. I was so excited for it too, because like it's her son, right? And it's like,
Okay,
oh,
yeah.
Claire's dead now. What do we do? But it's like, how
Sure.
does Claire die? Because she's invincible. But essentially, spoiler alert. Essentially, this like I think she has twins. Yeah, she has twins, and they get separated at birth. But one of the twins essentially has the power to like, I think, take other people's powers, kind of, somewhat. I don't know. So it
Right,
took her
okay.
it took her powers as it was like she was giving birth.
Right.
So she died giving birth essentially,
Oh.
even though she's
Okay.
invincible. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Even though she's invincible,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
she's got that like the same thing that that Peter's dad had.
Yeah, essentially, where it's like you can
Where
literally
he-
rip your arm off and it's just
Yeah, because he does the same thing to the other immortal, and the immortal turns to dust.
Oh God.
it's so cool.
Mortal
I
Scorpion.
love that stuff.
Did
I
well?
love
Did,
Heroes.
so you're in all the way. I just remember the guy who froze time by holding his breath, right? Was that how it went, or did he just squeeze his eyes really hard and then?
Tilt.
Yeah.
He's not.
He
It
just
does.
squeezed his-
Now that you say,
I'm
holding
thinking of
his
Dragon
breath,
Ball Z.
That does seem kind of
Oh my
what he
God,
was
that's so
doing.
funny.
Yatta! Yatta!
Nissan
So-
Versa.
Hooray! Yeah. Man,
You guys are
Heroes.
so-
That's a blast from the past.
I love
As-
Heroes.
Right. So Darren, do you want to explain a little bit more about what the heck is going on here? Is there a backstory, or did you just kind of wake up in that body?
Um, there's a little bit of a backstory, but
Okay.
it's nothing too intense. It's just more of like so you okay, so I can't say too much because if I say too much then it's like it could have a ripple effect. But it's
Right.
something like Black Mirror essentially where you take a little bit of your DNA, the DNA goes through this process, it then
Yeah.
gets reduplicated into more and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then you get something like this where you're
Okay.
like you're uploaded onto a server, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Can't say too much, and then here we
Sure.
are.
Okay,
6,000
so
years
we,
later.
we can imagine it's kind of like the Matrix, where there's like an avatar version of yourself, except that avatar version is kawaii.
Wow, yes.
I can imagine the Matrix if we could actually choose it for
I'm like an
ourselves. we would
I'm
look
like an
very
elf
strange.
essentially. So like
You got that going on, yeah. You look like a dark sorcerer or something.
yeah. So like this is like my
Whoa, you're
evil
moving yourself.
part. So yeah,
Right.
I've like
I'm liking
I've
the sleeve, the kind of fashion design choice there.
yeah.
You
So
see the
actually
skull, yeah.
this actually is a SWAT original. It's actually incorporated
Oh,
into my
nice.
DNA.
Yeah,
Into
no
like my
kidding.
chest there.
Oh my God, yeah.
So
There's your brand. That's so cool.
yeah, Wesley, I have my own brand. It's in the center of my chest here. It's kind of hard to see, but
Brand.
yeah, I have my own
Yeah,
clothing
Yeah, it's
brand.
a brand logo in the center there.
yeah.
Was
amazing.
that
That's our one and only sponsor.
It's like an-
Every episode.
it's an inverted uterus.
Right. Well, it's a little warped on the chest, but normally it's a
Yeah.
perfect triangle with a
Basically.
little fire in the middle.
Yeah, it's basically an inverted uterus though.
Sure, might as well be. Might as well. Yeah, nice.
It's all along the lines of that. But yeah, essentially, and like a little bit of war happens and all that jazz. So I'm like a little.
Oh,
bit of,
bro,
like,
that's not gonna cause a ripple effect. Oh
so,
my
you know.
God. Me
Hey,
knowing that, I'm gonna do some shit.
Speaking of war, first of all, there's another lockdown. Can you guys believe this? There's another lockdown in my area right now.
Yeah.
Where?
Oh, in Hamilton, yeah.
Yep. There's another lockdown going on right now. It started today, I believe. So,
Hmm.
they're in a red zone again, or is it a gray zone? I'm always forgetting because I think
And what does that
gray
even
is worse
mean
than
when they say
red.
gray
Makes
zone?
sense. Doesn't make
Gray zone
sense.
sounds like it's undefined.
Yeah. Shouldn't it be a red zone right now? I'm confused. Whatever.
I
Besides
don't know.
the point,
I don't know what's going on in my area. York is just its own beast.
at the point, I'm just over it, and I just figured, you know what? Might as well just go digital. You know what I mean? I'm so like, I can't be
Yeah.
going up at the stores like this. I just upload it all straight to my hands.
Boom.
Boom.
Got him.
DNA right
Hey.
there. Baby.
Wait, okay, so I got a question for you. So you digitized yourself, but is there still like a physical you that needs food or else you'll die? Is it like the Surrogate movie?
No.
No. All right, you're good.
Yep.
Damn.
It's just that simple,
Hell
man. It's just that simple.
Surrogate, was that with Bruce Willis?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember watching that movie, but I don't remember that movie.
I know, same. Well, I remember like the robot people doing flips and stuff, and then you punch their head off, and then the guy wakes up and goes, "Ah, God damn it!" And then
I think I think that especially with Bruce Willis, that he's so iconic and there's so many good Bruce Willis movies that one like that is like really easy to fall off. Like Tom Cruise, like Odyssey or whatever, like nobody saw that.
What? Or like
No,
The
no.
Mummy.
Right?
Like,
But
have you seen The
everybody
Mummy?
goes and sees
Oh, The
Mission
Mummy.
Impossible fucking 11.
Yeah.
I watched Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol like 2 days ago. It was
That was
sick.
what was that, the fourth one?
I think it's the fourth one, yeah.
They're
Yeah.
all
The third one. No, it's the fourth one. It's the fourth one.
they're all Mission Impossible movies, right? It's just a collection of all the tropes that you expect, and if you enjoy that, then you're gonna love every single one of them.
Yeah, well, honestly, I'm in it for the ride of Tom Cruise, where it's like Mission Impossible 7. He keeps trying to kill himself in new and elaborate ways. Have him run at
In
something and just break his
2021,
legs.
Tom Cruise is still running.
Yeah,
Really, like
He's
with
gonna
the
run straight into space.
intense, literally the intense hands. I saw you doing it last.
Oh, yeah.
Like the hands were going, man. Like
Yeah.
oh my god, I like
Dude,
it's just
Always
like
laughing, pointing.
I
right
love
at the
him by
camera.
the way. Like I love Tom Cruise.
He's so charismatic. Yeah.
He is what the definition of what an action like when I watch movies, you guys already know. I don't have a minute or 2 minutes to download anything, okay? So or even watch an hour movie, I can't do that. I'm sorry. But Tom Cruise's movies, those Mission Impossible movies, hell yeah, I can do.
They get you? Yeah.
I blacked out in the last one in the theater.
So Ghost Protocol, is that the one where he's jumping from rooftop to rooftop? He's chasing somebody.
No,
and
Honestly, I don't know.
and-
That
and
sounds
he's-
like
There's
That's Rogue
one jump where he doesn't quite make it, and the shot that made it into the film was the one that he
yeah, actually,
broke
like,
or fractured or ruined
Yeah.
his ankle.
that
right.
was the latest one. That was the fifth
Yeah,
one.
it's because it's him doing those jumps. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So
It's
amazing.
amazing. And that's what you got to go see because you're going to be like, I got to see the jump. You got to see
Yeah.
the jump. So, when I
you
went to that
mentioned-
theater, I blacked out in 20 minutes.
You mentioned the Mummy. Is that the one, or is it one of the Mission Impossibles where he hangs on the end of a plane, and he actually did? He's hanging on the wing of the plane or something.
No. That's the latest Mission Impossible too. He does a lot of
That
shit in
was-
that
that
one
was-
movie.
No, that was
the one
this
before.
That was just this one that I watched. So that was technically fourth. So it's
No,
Ghost
it is?
Protocol. Yeah.
He's
It's
hanging-
like
no. He doesn't. He do a prison break at the beginning of that movie. And then I thought in the beginning of the fifth movie is where he's
really
hanging off the
prison
plane doing
break.
some kind of heist.
it's like it's not really. The movie starts off with like they have to like get onto a plane or something or like
Right.
something like that, and there's like the guy that's like the technician guy is supposed to do something, but it's not working like on his thing.
Yeah.
So Tom Cruise has to take it in his own hands and jump onto the plane, and then he's like, "Open the door, open the door." And he
Right.
goes in and then gets in, and then of course he can't like open the door. He opens the wrong door, and then he's just hanging off the side.
Classic.
And then he makes it in, and then yeah, it's so good. It's honestly so good. I love. Tom
It's
Cruise.
physics at its finest.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise will never die.
And again, I'll mention it for a third time. The last movie Ghost Protocol? I blacked out. Like as soon as okay, so the movie.
What do you mean? Like you were so excited that you blacked
I
out?
completely blacked out. Yeah, like 100%
Oh my
blacked out.
gosh.
So
Wow.
essentially, with me for
Yes, yes.
movies, I am 100% invested in movies. That's why I don't have the time for them. I hate shitty movies. There's nothing worse. I
Right.
hate more than a shitty, boring movie. So like
Yeah.
right now, for instance, like a perfect example would be like WandaVision. The first episode of WandaVision,
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
done. I wouldn't watch that. But like Aiden wanted to watch it, so we watched the whole season. I wouldn't watch it because it's just boring. You have to get me. If you're not getting me on the first episode, first hour, you lost your chance.
Right.
Same thing with okay, anyways, besides the point, going back to Ghost Protocol, I got the full 3D thing, seats moving, all that jazz.
Right.
The movie
Cool.
was so good that it doesn't start till like 15 minutes in. So there's so much action in the beginning of the movie, and then
Yeah.
it goes dun 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 dun. At that part, my seat's shaking. We're 20 minutes already into the movie, and it's just starting. I blacked out.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I am literally a kid in a candy store right now, and my seat was
Right,
shaking.
right. Well,
But also
did you wake up and be able to watch the rest
I
of the
had
movie?
to.
or no?
I actually had to leave the theater because I gasped out really loud, like a really loud yelling sound, like a really really scary sound because I blacked out.
Yeah.
And then Aiden had to be like,
I
"Yo,
mean,
are you
hey,
okay?"
that's you got your money's worth, right?
I had to go outside of the theater, sit down,
Yeah.
I literally had to like catch my bearings, go to the front concession stand. I was like, "Yo, this movie is off the chain. I got my money's worth. Like, I need
Yeah.
some water. Can y'all help me?" They're like, "This happens sometimes with the 3D and like the chair moving, all this
Yeah.
stuff. It happens." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh well, yeah, I'm in another
Should
dimension
embrace
right
not
now,
yet
but I'm not
ready.
trying to trap."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. It was so good. That's a 2.5 movie hour. I'll sit down and watch. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have
Yo,
like
I mean-
Wonder Woman.
Well, yeah, they cannot stand up to like actual practical effects. Nothing ever will. We've been doing practical effects since like the 30s with whoever, Charlie Chaplin, right? And we're still doing it to this day with Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves and these guys. Nothing beats it. Nothing can beat real, right?
Nothing. No. Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing. It's like
Sorry,
like-
sorry, I'll let you go.
here's like a really strange example. Like way back in the day, there's like it's called Clash of the Titans.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure you guys have heard of this, right? Back in the day, there's like the OG version with like Harry Hamlin. I remember watching that like with my dad, like way back in the day, and being like, "That freaking Medusa is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Right.
Then there's like this. Then there was like this new one that came out back in the day with the Avatar guy that nobody knows. I think his name's Sam Wellington or whatever, but he's only in
Worthing.
Avatar. And then he
Yeah.
was in a whole bunch of other movies that nobody noticed. Anyways, he was in Clash of the Titans or Clan, whatever. It was
Clash of
absolutely
the-
horrible. Like, how is that movie so bad? Like,
Just all CGI. I know. I know.
yeah,
Man,
it's like, I'm
I'll-
not even scared.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. I was on the Sam Worthington hype train for a
Sam
while. Just after the Avatar movie, I was like, this guy, he's the new whatever, right? He's the new charming boy. I saw like interviews by him where he's like talking about how he got into theater class because of a girl that he was dating, and then she broke up with him, and then he was like kind of sad about it, so he like left Australia and then just got a gig like almost instantly to do Avatar. Like he
Wow.
just from 1 to 100 real quick. Like I think he did one movie in Australia or something, and then he just instantly became a star, and then phased out. Now he just does random military movies. But
That's why I was thinking that like he definitely Avatar was a one like he just got lucky on that. Now that I hear that backstory, he got lucky for sure.
he got lucky, and he didn't really excel, but he's coming back with Avatar 2 and whatever, right?
Clash
You
of
only
the
need one
Titans.
cash cow.
Clash of the Titans is such a good example of just the trailer movies. It was coming off especially that one's coming off the hype of like 300.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
it's like da da, homoeroticism, da da, Greek mythology, da da, Liam Neeson.
Give me oily men, and I'm fucking good to go, man. That's a straight man's dream, honestly.
That's killing me.
Yeah, I mean it's true. Well, okay, Darren, I don't know what you feel about that kind of thing. I don't know if that the Schwarzenegger would be, anything that you're interested in. But I feel like honestly,
the Terminator movies.
Yeah. But I'm saying that man's body. I think it's just I made an analogy like a few days ago, not on the podcast, but it was about like the whole how girls do makeup and stuff, and it's like guys don't really like girls with makeup, right? And it's like this whole thing where obviously there's a culture about it, but if you really think about it, girls only put on makeup to compete with other girls. Stereotypically, right? Everybody's an individual, but if you group it all together statistically, we're not gonna get. No, because this isn't a bad thing to say. Girls putting on makeup is part of a culture where other girls like kind of compete with each other. It's not to attract guys; it's to compete against other girls. Same goes with bodybuilders. Guys aren't getting jacked to get with girls; they're getting jacked to compete with other guys that are jacked. And it's just like a bro on bro, like, yo, let me check your muscles, man. It's like you're not doing it to get girls; you're just doing it to be part of this like gym culture, I feel like that's like a weird part of like
silence.
The older
I don't
world.
know about that, Joe, because like
You don't think that's a thing?
I don't know. I don't like. I mean, there's a thing like with comparison for sure, and like I know that, or like I feel like a lot of people definitely are like that. But I think a lot of people do things just for themselves. Like I don't work out to impress anybody else. I work out for myself.
No, I know, but I'm talking about bodybuilders. I'm talking about the people that every single day they hurt themselves. It's part of the
but like
culture.
An example would be like you use as makeup. Like some women love to just wear makeup as like an artistic thing or something to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
Right? As
That's
opposed
true.
to like just getting men's attention. It's kind of like.
Well, I'm saying that I don't agree with that, and I think it's the old part of culture. But I'm thinking how often more is it that girls talk about themselves rather than doing it to try to get guys? I think it's less to get guys. It's not that. It's the other thing. Maybe not specifically competition, but at the very least, that's part of culture.
Wesley, can't leave me hanging here. What's your opinion on this?
My opinion, I think that what Joe says has a lot of weight to it. That weight being truth, and also weight being crushing a sensitive topic. Yeah, that's my opinion.
It's almost like.
I agree very much with Joe, but I also think that it's a little bit heavy-handed, and that what you're saying is also very true.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it's not that other people that yes, like the most successful people are doing the things that they do for themselves, right? Because then it's not motivated by external forces, and if your motivation is within, and your motivation for doing things are for yourself, then nothing can really stop you, and they'll be really good at it, right? But I think that Joe is also right that subconsciously or literally that women are competing with other women more than they're trying to attract men. And like I don't know, there's as soon as you start labeling things, they change.
Well, yeah. Also, that's just a group thing. That's not individual by individual, because everybody's an individual.
And that's the thing is that Darren, right? It's Darren.
Correct. Yes.
So like what Darren was saying was that his viewpoint is like coming from the individual looking outward, and you're kind of like you're talking because as soon as the closer you get to an individual with a theory, the more it turns into nonsense, right? You can't have a theory like that without having a very broad scope of people that you're talking about, and putting things broadly is, like I said, it's very weighted. That it's for sensitive people. That's just like, oh, you can't say that. You're bull excavating the idea in that sense. Just stripping earth.
It doesn't help, or I don't know. I mean, it does for marketing, I guess, because they have like demographic polls they do when they try to market things. But aside from that, it doesn't help to go over those kind of things. And I guess another way to look at it is that humans are social creatures. So of course we're gonna check out the other people that are doing the thing that we're doing, right?
Very true.
That's inevitable. Yeah. We care about what other people think, right? The internet culture says, who gives a fuck? But everybody gives a fuck about something. It's good to give a fuck. Yeah, what the hell?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's good too. And it's good to do things for yourself too, like.
Well, that should be one of the more important things, right? But
yeah,
I feel like that's too little, or too few spent across most people's days.
We're always trying to please for sure. It's a hard gamble for sure. But that's like you mentioned, it's just the human in us, right? We're social creatures.
Yeah. If we weren't, we'd still be living in caves,
Yeah.
So it's a good thing we got cities and stuff now and iPhones. So that's something.
True. Androids.
Well, yeah. So are you? What would you classify yourself in this new digital age? Are you an Android or are you?
Yeah, I'm somewhat of an Android. I would say I'm an Android.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on.
Do you use a cell phone in your digital world?
Yeah, I have one essentially like on my arm. It's like in my hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's so funny because when I'm ever like on Twitch sometimes, I'll get a text message and it'll go through like my microphone and you can hear it come through. It's funny.
What? It reads it out? That's so weird.
No, it doesn't read it out, but you can just hear it come through my arm in my system.
Oh, true. Very good. Show the hands. Are your hands always on? It's so shiny. You got the Iron Man thing going on.
Yeah, so like I get some energy up in there.
Okay, nice.
Plug in, plug in, plug out.
Plug in, plug out. Absolutely.
Finish him.
yeah, why not? That's good.
Speaking of games, have you guys I just got a Switch, a Nintendo Switch.
You really? Nice.
Yeah. And then I got some classic Mario games. Can you believe the prices of these games?
Bro, games that have been out for almost 5 years are still full price. It's
like, how is this possible? I'm like,
what are games worth on a Switch now?
Well, the one that I just bought was $100 with tax.
Wow.
It came to $100 with tax, like 100.
It's honestly, it's okay. Ponzi scheme isn't the right term, but whatever it is, Nintendo knows that there's no competition.
Yeah.
PlayStation and Xbox have competition, but Nintendo
Monopoly.
has no one. Yeah, exactly, and they're abusing it straight up because they're like, this is for kids, so parents have to pay up.
Oh, that's actually a good point. That they're targeting that makes a lot of sense. Target the children and the parents' wallets. That does seem a little bit malicious, but it's Nintendo. Hey,
God damn it! They're doing the same thing Disney's doing. Disney's also playful and cartoony and for kids, and they're monopolizing and like eating up other corporations and charging people $30 to watch a movie on their streaming service. It's bullshit.
It's ridiculous. Like, what? I'm paying already. Like, it's just absolute. And then people will pay it and be like, "Why did I pay for that?"
I saw a great internet meme recently. It's a guy and he's watching Netflix. He's having a great time, and then like Crave and Hulu and Disney Plus and all these things show up, and then he like goes to his stand there, and there's a dusty old pirate hat. And he picks it up and dusts it off and sticks it on. Goes to Putlucker.
Right. Yeah, once upon a time, there was the golden age where it's just Netflix, but. Yeah. Now we're back to.
But it's true
they're forcing us to do it.
Too many people are trying to take a slice of that so delicious multimedia pie, and then we just go back to piracy because we can't buy them all. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so like there's so many. Market. Like what? I literally have so many.
who are these people that have like all of the streaming services, and you know that they don't have the time to watch them all,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That
they don't.
they're
They probably only watch like one from like each thing or something.
yeah, and they probably only have all of them because they're so well off that after they're done jet skiing to their hand glider to their private jet, and then they're just like vegging out, and then they can just surf 20 million different programs and not watch any of them. Just like, oh, just look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
them all.
spend the night surfing and then go to sleep. Go to sleep just surfing. Yeah, yeah, straight up. Hey, at least they're not
I
going
feel
out killing
attacked right
people. I
now.
mean, back in the 1980s, rich people would just like become so numb that they would just start doing insane shit. If they're just surfing and then sleeping, that's a lot better than what it used to be.
This is so
I forget who it was. It was a stupid point, but just like there's something about how like when rich people have everything, they just like start to like get into like super nefarious shit just because they're bored. Where it's like, they could be a philanthropist. They could like budget themselves or something, but they don't. So they end up just having fuck you money, and it just like leads them into this like insane like spiral of like, it starts with hedonism, but then it ends with like criminal mischief and, basically the movie American Psycho.
Uh,
Wait, sir, do you have any money? Yeah, I got money right here. But let me ask you a question first. Why don't you get a fucking job? He just starts harassing and then stabbing a homeless person. Like, that's no way to do it, man. Come on.
that's a good movie.
Come
Christian-
on, man.
Christian
It's a
Bale.
great movie, especially because, well, okay, I won't say a spoiler. It's just, yeah, it's a great movie for anyone who hasn't seen it. It's old as hell. I should be able to spoil it, right? Came out, what, 1999? Honestly, that was Christian Bale at his best. In more than one way. I mean,
Maybe he's at his best when he was drop kicking his mother and sister.
Oh my god! No, well, that's what I was gonna say. Is that
He's like, I'm in the prime of my life.
That's so ruthless.
But that's what's
Oh
up. It's
my
like
God,
he's
you
an
guys are
actual
crazy.
abuser. So for him to play a psycho, it's pretty fitting, right?
Yeah.
He denied the role at first, probably because he thought it was too close to the chest, right? He was like, I don't want people knowing what I do on the weekends.
Definitely hit way too close to home for him.
Yeah.
But it's also in his head in real life.
Yeah, literally.
He's like hiding all these bodies. And he has these like, it's like,
His
oh,
claws
what'd you do
disappear.
last night? No, just doing Christian Bale stuff.
Yeah, renting DVDs, renting VHSs. Isn't that a thing in the movie? Every time, excuse me, where are you going? I have DVDs to return. He just runs away.
Actually reminds me, Terminator Salvation, the
Yeah.
first Terminator
more than-
Salvation trailer that I saw. That's the one with Christian Bale as John Connor. It's a black. It opens with a black screen, and you hear Christian Bale say something about the Resistance or whatever. I forget exactly what he says, but he's doing the Batman voice.
Oh my god, yeah, that's true.
And
'Cause he
it's-
was
and
literally
it's-
right off of the second movie.
Yeah. He just like hops off of the Batman set, and his voice still doesn't work. And then now I'm John Connor. This is the only voice I can do.
Yeah, he's like, I did a lot. That's all he had. Once you do a
Perfect.
character for too long, you can't get out. Yeah. RJ, Rachel. Oh god! And then he started screaming at that audio guy.
I watched that movie yesterday, The Dark Knight. My fiance Brenda had never seen it before.
Oh yeah. Wait. She had what?
She
The
never
movie
seen
came out
The
in
Dark Knight.
2008.
Never saw it.
But it's like,
Oh,
think of it as it's not really, I hate to say it, it's not really a chick flick.
No, it's
Well,
not.
It's in
Like,
anything.
girls
It's-
wouldn't watch
it's-
that movie.
It's the whole.
No.
Come on, it's for everybody.
But it's
I know it is, but
it's
you know.
Christopher Nolan, and it's also it's a cult classic now, The Dark Knight, because of Heath Ledger and
yeah.
all
Yeah, I've seen it.
all that business happening around that time, and yeah, it's definitely
It's so
like
good.
top 5 movies of all time.
I think it's just like so amazing. Like I think about it all the time, like when I'm like struggling or like, well, I haven't been struggling in a long time to be honest, but whenever I am and like just like trying to get through it, I just think about him being in that pit, and I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of this pit.
Oh yeah, the third
Oh,
movie.
that's-
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting out of this pit. Like I'm not
Yeah.
staying in here, but you gotta sometimes you gotta get beaten down, you gotta get broken, you gotta get like literally to your last straw till you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
just really just find that inner strength to come back and be better than ever.
There,
I use it like in a mental like analogy.
Well, I
There's-
mean, that's kind of the point of the movie. Even though it was a physical pit, it was also supposed to be a mental pit.
for the
It's
Batman
so
to
cool.
climb
It's
out
just
of.
so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so well. Like I love stuff like that. It's just so well done.
When it can be subtle, when it's because I feel like that wasn't too obnoxious. It's like kids watching it wouldn't be like, oh, it's because it's a pit kind of a thing. There are movies that are really bad at doing that, where they're like so obvious with what their message is. But yeah, when you can pull it off where people don't even know what the actual message is, and they just love that movie, and all of a sudden they start like thinking new thoughts they've never thought before, that's when you know you did something good.
Yeah, it's my
It's a
goal
But
good
in
movie.
life.
it's hard. You got to balance it with just being entertaining in general too. So
It's a good
Yeah.
movie. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. It's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
classic.
yeah,
One of my
yeah.
tops for sure. One of my tops for sure.
I feel like it's everybody's top five, right? It depends on where they put that on the scale, but it would only be like boomers, or just people who have yet to see it that would put it otherwise.
Definitely,
See?
definitely a top.
Easy.
One question I wanted to ask you guys, going back
Yeah.
to the games. What I don't understand is, okay, I know this sounds like really, I'm still like kind of confused about it. So
Yeah.
essentially, when I went to get the Switch, right?
Mm.
Get it, whatever. The guy's like, oh, we have like Xbox something. I was like, okay, let me just like check it out.
Yeah.
But like, it's like a slower Xbox or something. Like, I don't know what the name is. What are the names of
Wait,
the Xbox?
it's
Xbox
not
One,
slower.
Xbox. There's like a small version or something.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
who wants this? Why does anybody want this? It's on the shelf. Like, what the
It's
hell?
cheaper.
But it doesn't have any like. Okay, so like
It has
it
half the
showed like,
processing power.
yeah, it showed all the check marks on it. It had like half the check marks of like everything. I was like, but who's
Yeah.
playing on this thing?
Oh,
It doesn't even
oh,
work.
half a console. Well,
Yeah.
just for
So
one or two games. You just play it for Fortnite or something.
oh, okay. Because then I'm now going to my real question is the new Xbox, right? That you got, Joe. Everybody's like
Right.
wanting to get it, right? And then
Yeah.
I asked the guy, I was like, so what are like the popular games right now? He's like, there's no games. I was like, what?
I
I was like, wait, what?
Well, okay, all right.
I'm so
Yeah,
confused.
that's
What the freaking heck is going
Let-
on?
all right. I know.
hell?
I may have bought a
Wait,
console prematurely. I was a little hyped.
What? I'm
Got
confused,
swept away.
Joe.
But no. It's okay. It's okay. There.
What?
All right. Listen, there's Game Pass, which is basically like Rogers Home Video, if you ever, or Blockbuster, whatever you had near you, where you could rent video games. It's like that, except you don't have to pay for every video game you rent. You just pay the monthly thing, and then whenever you want to stop, you stop. You can play 100 million games in a month, right? Like whatever you want to do, whatever you fancy. So that, and they just released EA games, so it's like games I'd never bothered to think of playing before. But now I'm like, well, if it's just on this thing, then I might as well try it. So I'm playing like the new Star Wars games, like the whatever the last one was, the Broken Order or something. And upcoming this November is the long-awaited.
November?
I know that's a
Wow.
while. I know that's a
Wow.
while, but that's the reason why I bought the Xbox, is because
A year
Halo
ago.
Infinite. Yeah, literally a year
You
ago.
bought the
Yeah.
Xbox a year ago
It will be a
for
year.
a game that's coming out this year in November.
I can't
At
wait
the-
to what Doritos they come out to sponsor it. It's gonna be a new
No,
Master
that's
Chief
already
flavor.
happened.
Infinite
Yeah.
Doritos.
They've had some weird sponsor stuff. Like they had something with Pringles, new Halo MOA burger Pringles, and it's like this fictional alien species that kind of
What?
looks like a MOA or something. No,
Oh,
it
I don't
it
like
looks like an
Doritos.
emu.
I'm not into Doritos for some reason. I don't know why.
What about just tortilla chips in general? Are
I
you
like
a potato
tortilla
chip
chips.
guy,
Yeah,
or-
I do like. I'm not really like. It kind of sucks because I'm not really much of a snacker. Like I wish I could just be a snacker. Like to have potato
I've seen
chips.
some treats at your place.
Yeah, like I love chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate's really nice. Like I like
You're just
chocolate
not a
at night.
savory guy.
Like last night, for instance, I had 3 Ferrero Rochers before bed. I was like,
Whoa,
oh, this is so
you're
good.
gonna
I was like,
call
these are
yourself
so
not a
good.
snack?
But
Yeah.
it's a certain type of snack. Like I don't like salty like things like Doritos or chips or like
You're a savory
like
guy.
pretzels or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you got
Like
a sweet tooth.
I don't know how to describe it.
Alright. I need to consume chocolate like a diabetic person needs to consume insulin.
I was literally about to say that.
I love
like
chocolate.
a diabetic
It's
needs
so
to
good.
consume it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
really like
that,
chocolate.
like they need to consume insulin,
Oh my
not
god.
chocolate. I love chocolate. I need it
Yeah.
every like 6 hours or after every meal.
It's so
Right.
good. Yeah,
Well,
but like
do you mix it up
chips
with
aren't
stuff,
good.
or you just have it straight up? Do you guys have like
Well,
a favorite, like almond
I
chocolate?
try to drink coffee while I'm eating chocolate. Like
Mm,
Oh, wow.
the coffee is
same.
available, I'm definitely
Same.
drinking the coffee
You're
too.
creating a mocha in your mouth.
I'm having that after this podcast. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a coffee.
Oh
and,
my
like,
god, yeah.
chocolate after on the side. Oh, it's just the best thing. Did the crema on top too? Like, yes, please. Honestly, I'm
Yeah.
like salvage. Wait, hold on. Back to the game thing. Wesley, do you have an Xbox?
No, I've been a PC gamer for a long time.
That's
Massive.
I had an Xbox 360 back in the day, and a Nintendo 64 and Xbox.
Yeah.
Yes, and Nintendo 64 is sick. That's basically what I'm playing right now on my Switch, basically.
Yeah,
It's
they
Nintendo
got
64.
they got classic Smash on there.
They have
Oh.
literally everything that you can like, which is like what Joe was mentioning with this game hub thing, which is so interesting because Nintendo has one and it's so hard to get to, like, buy anything because you have to go through all these like things because it's made for kids. So it's like they don't want, they're like, it's just like,
Right.
it's
They don't
very
want it
like
to
you can
be
tell.
easy.
Yeah, you could
they want to be able to blame the parents or something when the kid
Yeah.
spends thousands of dollars on the card.
Right. yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I downloaded the games, which was pretty cool, and then I'm still really confused about the Xbox thing because like, so basically everybody just bought this Xbox because it was like everybody just wanted it.
Well, no. Okay, so I'll say this: the new Xbox, its
There's-
SSG drive is equivalent to a PC, and for like a fraction of the cost.
What does that have
So
to do with
we-
anything? I don't
It
get
means it runs seamlessly, instantly. There's like no loading on the hardest games. Like I got
But you don't have
Cyberpunk.
any games though.
No,
I
no,
can
but
play
I got
Fortnite
Cyberpunk.
and
I give
Among
you that.
Us.
Well, I'm not
Is it-
playing any of those goddamn games, but
okay, so the only thing
Cyberpunk is a good example, right? That game is so thick and heavy that it crashes on everybody. If you're trying to play it on an Xbox One, good luck. It's the shittiest
Right, right.
graphics and super slow rendering. But on the new Xbox that I got, zero loading time, nothing is glitching out. Like everybody's talking about how it's such like an unfinished
Yeah.
game, but it's like it's working for me.
That's all I've been
So
hearing.
I
Is
think
it's
I
just
just
it's
lucked
such a
out.
good game. I'm like,
Yeah,
how
but I
come?
feel like it's people playing on like a PS4. You got to get the latest gen.
So basically everybody got this Xbox for a game that wasn't finished yet. Basically,
Well,
Yeah.
there's
Like-
Cyberpunk reminds me of there was an MMO that Warhammer put out,
Yeah.
but it ran on, you had to have the peak, whatever the best processor was that you could have, and the graphics card and the RAM. You needed everything to play this game. And I hear it was really, really good, but the thing is that nobody got to play it because only the 1% or whatever got
Yeah.
to do it. So then the game kind of died.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's no
other
way
than
to
that
do-
game, there's no
Yeah.
other games then than that
Halo
Cyberpunk game
Infinite.
because every other game you can just download on the regular Xbox. No.
Yeah, straight up. Everything's cross generational. So if you got an Xbox One from 2013, it can still run every current game that's been coming out so far.
So I just find that
That's
so
really-
interesting how they came up with a console and there's no games for it, but
It's an
everybody went to
investment.
buy the console.
Well,
So
okay,
interesting.
I'll say this. I'll say
I think
this
that's
as well.
Amazing.
Halo Infinite was supposed to have come out November of last year.
Oh, okay.
But when they did their showcase reveal in July, which was like right before their marketing would have started, their marketing campaign before the game came out,
Okay.
everybody shit on it and said it had shitty graphics. And granted, it
okay.
did. And honestly, I kind of feel like the devs intentionally showed a bad showcase so that they could have more time due to public backlash. So I feel like it's a conspiracy, a harmless one, but it's because it's not just 343 making the game. It's also Microsoft that's like controlling everything they do because it's a Microsoft game, right? They're not an independent developer. They're like owned. They're like held by a leash. So
Oh.
I say 343 tanked their own demo so that Microsoft would give them another 6 months to a year. And I
Interesting.
think that that's what they did.
Oh, okay.
And everybody hated it and said it was shitty. And then so they were like, okay, we're delaying the game. It's not coming out until next year.
It also seems like if I was a programmer at 303 or whatever, and I knew that the demo was going to go to shit, that I would totally write some side conspiracy like that to be like, no, this is all planned.
Right, yeah,
We're
yeah,
not- we're
yeah.
not fucking idiots.
Well, anyway, I mean,
It's
we'll
like-
see if it's actually good when it comes out. But either way, I'll give a fuck. It'll still be fun. And I'll tell you why. This is a philosophy that Bungie had, that 343, the new team, carried on with the future Halo games, and it's called the 30 seconds of fun. If the game isn't fun inside of 30 seconds, that constantly restarts the clock every time the 30 seconds is up, then your game's shit. So it's like you need a balance. like the golden triangle of like shooting grenades, like the classic stuff with an FPS.
Well, actually, like the thing that you're talking about is, I got to talk to some game developers. I forget what the company is called, but I got this really cool like interview when I was in Nova Scotia. Anyway, he was telling me about how video games are exactly what Joe's saying, that you got to have that 30 seconds of fun. So what the game's got to do is it's got to challenge you enough that when you overcome the challenge, you feel reward that gives you the dopamine that gets you to the next challenge, gets you up that a little bit up that hill,
That
get your
dopamine.
dopamine hit, up and reset and reset and reset and reset and reset. That's what makes really good games, and it's to get people's dopamine fix. It's not really gaming or competition or anything like that. It's just most games are made for total idiots.
Yeah, that's my kind of game. I'm not a true gamer. I'll be straight up honest about that. I'm not a true gamer. I just like the roller coaster ride.
And that's fine.
I'm not a
right?
gamer either, but I just got this new Switch and I've been playing N64 and like you're so right about it. The stars, when I get the stars, the dopamine is high. I'm like, wow, next level, let's go.
Yeah, Nintendo's.
But I'm horrible at this game because it's like this game came out in 1996 and it's
Well,
like
yeah, which
I
one are you
can't
playing?
even like I'm
Super
playing
Mario?
the OG Super Mario on the N64.
Hell yeah, first.
That one's
It's
fucking
so
hard.
good. It's so good and it's so hard. Wesley, I don't understand how this game was for kids and it's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I mean, it's part of growing up. If anything, like if you don't get challenged, if you make it like easy and whatever, then it's the adults that stop growing. It's the kids need something insanely difficult.
I totally agree with you, Darren, that game is terrifying. And for me, it's two things. It's how good free falling feels in that game.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, you feel uneasy, right? The camera angle and everything, it's got that sort of Resident Evil sort of feel to it,
Yeah.
where I can't really move my character or look the way that I want to, and that creates anxiety. And then
Yes.
the second thing in that game that just freaks me right the fuck out is, I don't know about swearing on your podcast, but whatever.
We've done it at this point too. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah. All right. So
You're
be
good, you're
careful, but it doesn't really matter. The water level, the eel in the water level.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I thought it was a friendly eel. It's this. Oh my! It's
No, it'll
so.
get you.
Oh
Yeah.
my!
That
God,
thing-
it's so
that-
scary.
You're like drowning and you lose you lose one of your 16 points of health
Yeah.
every 8 seconds, and that thing takes
Half it out.
3/4 of it. It's like
It's crazy. And you know what's so crazy is there's a star on its tail. There's a star on that thing's tail. So you
Yeah.
gotta swim and gotta catch it, and then it goes back in its little cave, and it's terrifying. Like it's so why I don't understand why they made that so scary. Like I just don't get it. It's so scary.
Yeah, I
looking.
don't know, bro. Yeah, someone was just angry at kids or
I
something.
hate that level so much. I hate that level
Yeah.
so much. Like I hate it. It's just like I swam this sweating thinking about it. And
It's
the
not-
music
Yeah,
is
yeah,
so
but
scary.
there's so many like Boo's Mansion with that piano.
Oh,
No, everything's fine, and then burn,
Oh.
burn, burn, burn. And you're like,
oh
what the
my
fuck?
god. Who's haunted house? Yeah, it's so
yeah.
awful.
The
I
desert
hate it.
level, like just
Oh.
the notion of like sinking in quicksand just really fucked me up as a kid. I don't know why.
Isn't it
Anything,
just
any form of sinking, I'm just like.
and there's and you know what's so crazy too is there's 100+ stars on that game. It's like who made this game so big back then? Like I just don't understand who has like that game. Like what?
Vicious, yeah. They're
It's
like, fuck it, we got
vicious.
this new
It's
3D
vicious.
technology. Let's go ham. Yeah.
It's vicious and like like honestly, I'm sure you guys know that like some of the stars are like. There's no way I'm getting this in 1996. Like, there's no way. You need. Like, there's no. It's
that's
crazy.
funny. It's true, yeah.
Dude,
But
Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
no. I'm just gonna say that's just I'm not a pro gamer. You can see people on YouTube that like treat it like it's nothing, and yeah, there's a clear difference. There's clearly people who are born with different brains. I'm like, I could just never do that. Like, no matter how hard I try.
It's crazy. It's so intense. And then on top of it too, like we were born with that controller with that extra knob in the middle. Like now all controllers only have 2 handles. Like N64 had that extra one in the
It had
middle.
3.
It had
Well, the one in the
3.
middle you used, it had the general.
Well, like the sticks thing. Like there's like 2.
Mhm.
Like there's like 3 handles that you can hold on to. So like
Yeah.
technically you could
Different
hold on to the middle one with the right hand. Do you know what I mean? The right.
Yeah, yeah, if you want it, but it's just like, yeah, it was just a poor design. I don't know what they were thinking.
It's so interesting. It's so weird. It's like, and then now I have this one. It's so interesting because I can bring it to my bed and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, I really like that idea of using the stick with your right hand
Yes.
because everybody's right-handed, and now the trigger is on your right hand.
Yes.
Right. So if you're playing and you also need the
The Z
two
button.
axes of direction, right? You need to be able to go you have
Well,
to be
for
able to
like
move on this
FPSs.
plane and also look on this plane. So you need both
Yeah.
movement things. I've never
Yeah.
ever held the controller that way, but I guess it makes a little bit of sense.
It
You
does.
wouldn't be able to use any of the buttons on the right side, but you'd have the two triggers and the movement. You could play like fucking Mirror's Edge or something.
Right. Anything that's first person. Well, I mean, the what's that term? Twin stick shooter. It doesn't have to be a shooter like Mirror's Edge, right? But the twin stick idea, that would be weird if you were to flip the analog sticks. So it's literally like instead of moving with the left one, you're looking around with the left one and moving with the right. That'd be so weird. That would break like everyone's brain.
Yeah.
The game just came out where it just like worked that way but didn't tell you. And so the second you start playing, you're like, whoa, what's going on?
Crazy. Yeah.
That's one thing
It's
that
so insane.
I feel handicapped as a PC gamer because I'm left-handed, and
Oh, yeah, same thing.
everything's about mouse precision, right?
Yeah.
In a good shooting game or whatever, it comes down to precision of the mouse in a real-time game, and sometimes it's just like, oh, why didn't that hit? It's like, oh, right, because this is my indominant hand, and the communication just isn't there.
Yeah, it's not as sharp as it would be
Hard,
with your
yeah.
dominant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well wait. Okay, so now let's pivot pretty damn sharp here. Wes, hello. You're a guest on this show. How do you
Hi.
do?
Doing well, thank
We've learned quite a bit about
Hi,
you
Wes.
over this 46 minutes. We know that you are engaged. Congratulations. That's
Oh, thank
amazing
you.
news.
Congrats.
We know that you're PC Master Race. We know that you, just like the two of us, were alive in the 90s to have an N64. Well, I'm assuming on that part. I mean,
Yeah.
call me damn for the audio listeners, but you are a fellow adult. There's so much we could ask. We got, yeah, if we're gonna play this by the hour mark, we could do like a speed round here, but in the quickest way possible. Like, let's say like a 5-minute speed round. How would you describe your life leading up to exactly where you are right now?
My life leading up to exactly where I am in a speed round description.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Fuck yeah, like
This
like
is
do a
gonna
time.
be good.
Yeah.
Well, I moved around a lot. This is the longest I've been in the same place for a very long time. I've been with my fiance for about 7 years, and I've lived with her for most of those years. That I don't know. I started cooking. I went to school. I dropped out of school. Lightning round. I always knew that I wanted to change the world. I thought I was going to do it through psychology and philosophy, and then I decided that wasn't going to work. And I thought I'd be an animator to make movies, and I realized that I don't like to draw that much, even though I'm good at it. And then now I'm here making YouTube videos and trying to scope that avenue with starting with horror short films and then finally hopefully branching out into more interesting projects, but all along the way trying to change people's minds for the better, like we were saying with what Joe was saying about movies, how the best ones are not obvious about their message, and that you kind of just start thinking differently and doing things differently. You've learned something. Yeah.
You hook the people in with the entertainment, and then you actually give them something valuable while doing
Yeah,
it.
to walk
Right?
away
That's the best
with.
way to do it.
That's a movie.
Yeah.
Teachers, you got
Yeah.
something to learn
Smart.
about movies.
So
If-
like it's
I love
music
it.
too though, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe not after the discovery of psychoacoustics and pop music today and like all that, it becomes about just party and bullshit, which I believe at the end of the day is what life is mostly about. But the point is that that there's really good music that you've heard the song 100 or 200 or 500 times, but that 501st time you've heard the lyrics for the first time, right? And that
Yeah.
you really truly understand what the message in the music is, and that because where you were in your life you couldn't hear it before,
Yeah.
but now you've matured, you're older, and then that's what good music is
I
supposed to
agree.
be. Good cinema is that it's supposed to have that like Joe said, hook them in with the entertainment,
Yeah.
but you also got to be meta. You have to appease the bottom line, but you also have to make the intellectuals happy as well.
Yeah. And to say, branching off that, West, like for myself, that really, 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 really like resonates with me because that's why I black out in like Mission Impossible, because I can see it's not only that I'm just seeing like a movie, I'm seeing the work going behind it. I'm seeing the like I can see the vision that they wanted, and sometimes certain things don't play out like that for me. So like say for instance like a certain song, like I couldn't believe I was listening on the radio one time to the song where it's like it's something about my rent is late about a week ago. I worked my ass off, but I still can't pay it though. But I got just enough to get up in this club to have a good time until my time is done. So it's like that's what's on the radio right now, where they're like brainwashing people to like think that they need to spend money to go out and party when it's like they don't put good quality things on the radio because they don't want you to kind of realize that like, hey, you know, life isn't just about that. It's about growing and becoming a better person. It's also about downfall and then bringing yourself up from that downfall. And I think these things can really, really, really shape your life if you do find that path, or like when you hear that, say that song, you know, or that see that movie, for instance, it really does resonate with you so much, or with a person. So I do not waste my time on trash, basically.
Yeah.
I feel kind of the same way about the way that that the media that you consume is becoming of you. That I stay the hell away from like all of these like serial killer glorifying stuff, and you know just like I know that's like true facts and stuff, and like some people get off on it, but I just think it's sick. I'm not into it at all.
Yeah, it's not worth like making it be a part of your time. Well, it's music and entertainment and everything is the exact same as eating, where you kind of are what you eat. You metabolize what you consume, whether it's images and sounds or the actual physical consumption of nutrients. If you eat shit, you'll feel like shit. If you consume shit, you could still be a happy person, but like your underlying subconscious everything will just be
You're eating
gargled up in like whatever it is, true crime or whatever, right? It's like the world, that's 10% of the world. 90% of the world are just good people who want to be happy, right? It's like we're all just trying to live our life to, you know, the best of our own ability and just make our life meaningful and also be happy along the way, right? Because it's obviously something I've said 100 million times, that life is not a destination, it's the dance. So, you know, the same goes with how everything else goes, right? So yeah, I feel though that I do kind of have waves, which is obviously fine too, right? You don't have to always be one stagnant thing, but every so often I'll like just become obsessed with like just the darkness, and then I'll do that and then come back out of it, and yeah, it's probably seasonal. It's probably related to SAD or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But, yeah.
What do you mean essentially? The darkness. What does that mean?
Like the most recent thing, or no, I'll say it like this. And actually, it's a weird coincidence. It seems to always happen in spring when you think it would happen like in the dead of winter. But during the first lockdown that happened in March of 2020, I got really into like YouTubers going over like fucked up shit on the internet. And so it's for YouTube. So they're not going to show you actual murder, but they're going to talk about all the crazy stuff that you like, deep, dark web stuff that you don't want to go down, that kind of a thing. And they just curate it and then try to scare you with it, right? So I watched a lot of that stuff. And then the one I did this time was this guy whose channel was like JS something psychology. And he gets publicly viewable interrogations and just goes over them. So we got the interrogation of Casey Anthony. He got the interrogation of like a lot of newer murders, like one that just happened in Markham with this girl who like tried to have her parents killed, and like all this insane shit, and then just goes over how they're reacting to the police interrogations and the science behind interrogation technique and how it works. Where it's like literally it doesn't matter how much you practice a lie, your face will still tell the truth without you knowing subconsciously. Seeing your emotes are so funny.
It's yeah, I think that yeah, there's got to be cases where that's not true though. That
No. Even with psychopaths who are like, it's impossible to read their face, um, bringing stuff up. There's like certain ways that they can do it. Like there's this one guy who like killed a child in somewhere like just north of the GTA, and the police were talking about him, saying like, you're going to be the new Bernardo, eh? Like we got, and they had like one of those deep Canadian accents. And they're like, we just got to like we already have the evidence. We know you did it. So we're just wondering if you want to make this easier on yourself and just tell us how you're feeling, what you were feeling when you did it, just anything to put on record for the sake of posterity. And he was just like, I didn't do it. And was just constantly in denial. And it got to a point where he finally like kind of broke down and just stared at the person and stopped pretending to be innocent. And it was like this thing where it's like he didn't admit to doing it, but like it was like there was so much evidence that it didn't matter that he was lying anymore. And so he finally realized that and then got to a point where he just like went blank face. But it's something where it's like nobody.
now imagine this case where it's kind of like reverse deja vu, right? Where you feel like something has happened before and that's happening again right now that has already happened.
Yeah.
And the pathological liar, when he tells the lie, it becomes his memory.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right?
so,
It says he says, I did not do this, this is what happened, and then his memory changes.
It gets
Right?
switched.
How do you, that is the liar
that's
that
the
you
interesting.
can't beat, right? That
when you
that
genuinely believe what you're
he
saying. Yeah.
genuinely believes his own lies, or she.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I don't know. Would that be a case of multiple personality disorder?
It's definitely a case of something. I just mean that I was
That's
just saying that there's a
that
fringe
would be a
case
chance.
that doesn't
Fringe. Yeah.
like that's the absolute that
Mm-hmm.
somebody's face when they're lying is telling that it can't be true.
For every case, yeah. But I feel like 99%, yeah. But
Sure.
okay, so in our closing moments, there's actually one thing that I want to bring up that I think would be kind of interesting, just to kind of gauge how you guys feel about this. And I just brought it up a second ago. Multiple personality disorder. The word in of itself, or the title, suggests that there's multiple personality order. Do you guys feel in your normal every single day waking life that when you experience things that there was always a center that you call yourself, that there was always an I? Or do you feel like sometimes you forget things or you misread things or sometimes you're in a mood or you're just in a different state of mind and that maybe what's happening is that there's kind of, the brain is not really a single object as far as consciousness goes, but a locus of many consciousnesses that come into play at different modes, right? You have a romantic mode, you have a professional mode, whatever. It's actually different pieces of you that are emerging into consciousness.
I love this. I love the implication that there's multiple personality order. I think that is emotionally intelligent and self-aware to notice that each person that you interact with has a different version of yourself in their mind, that you're a character in every person's dream.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
in that sense, you have multiple personalities, even if you don't
Even if
if
you
you're
don't
not
know
aware
a
of it,
lot of them.
even if you're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
tapping into one for one purpose or another, this one or that one. I think that the thought of being alone is one of your personalities insisting that you that you socialize, right? That for myself personally, I hear that thought and I go, "You're never getting out of here." Right? It's you and me to the very end. Stop being
Right.
such
Yeah.
a baby.
You locked in. You locked in the ride.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right here. Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Darren,
can
what do you
do,
think about
man?
that?
Well, I was gonna say, don't look at me. I mean, do look at me. There's multiple personalities going on here. Check
That's
this.
right. We got the digital one we can see, and then there's another
Right?
one behind the veil. Yeah,
I'm not the
yeah.
guy on this topic, but yeah, for sure. I feel like essentially everybody, think of it as like kind of filling out a job application. It's kind of like you're just putting down your like personality inside of your application essentially, and then people read it and they're like, okay, this person is this, but it's like they're all just like personality traits that essentially either match or don't match with somebody in the workplace.
Right, and it's a total luck of the draw whether it happens or not. It has nothing. Someone could read 100 million page book about you and still not get you the same way another person just could intuitively, just on
So
one conversation.
You'd be like, the people, staff would be like, why did this manager or why did this boss hire this person? It's just everybody has a different
They just
personality.
vibed.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like
other
it's a little bit of the stats, and then it's a good chunk of chemistry too.
right. It's
Wow.
insane. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
When you think about it, though, it's really cool when you think about it.
Yeah, it's nice. Well, hey, Darren, seeing you in this surreal, interdimensional digital state really makes me want to do it too.
Yes.
God damn it. And I don't know if it's going to happen sooner or later, but you know how something, as soon as an idea enters the mind, it begins to fester and it will eventually turn into something. So
I'll have to hook you up.
I know
It
we
took
might.
me a
Yeah,
while
we'll
to make, but it took me so long. But I guess my schooling, then I can put some of my schooling.
You are
to
now
work,
a teacher.
You know?
Exactly,
like,
exactly. You
geez,
went through
man.
the pain, so you could teach me. No. But yeah,
yeah, it's just basically like, yeah, graphics are like my thing. So
Mhm.
anything you need graphics or like, you know, logos and all that jazz. Or this.
Of course. Well, yeah, I guess that about does it for this episode of the JD Unplugged. Wes, thanks so much for hopping on. It's been great having you. PC Master Race. There are too few of you, so it's a rare occurrence. So thank you for indulging us mere console mortals.
Well, thank you very much for having me. That was a lot of fun.
Of course, absolutely. And
Sure.
I'd like to keep chatting with you, if not here in a separate manner, but we can talk about that after the pod. But
Cool.
Either way, it's been another great one, I'd like to say. How you feeling, Darren?
So. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. It was a good one.
Yeah. So yeah, until next time, everybody and anybody listening, let us know if you enjoyed us not talking about David Dobrik or H3 like we did the last two episodes.
Oh gosh.
You know, jumping off that pop culture shit for a quick sec.
He
But,
apologized though, finally.
I don't know what either of those
it's
things
a
are.
quick little news. But yeah, either way, YouTube drama. What are you gonna do? Yeah, so
away from it. It's crazy.
just stay away. Exactly. It's funny. But yeah, so thanks everybody for hopping on, and until next time, take it easy.
Really appreciate it. You guys enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.